Hi, I'm Frank Scruggs, and I'm going to tell you how crowdfunding can be used to save America and triple your income. First, they don't want you to know how profitable venture capital can be. Second, they don't want to they don't want you to know how few ideas actually get funded. Thirdly, they don't want you to know that the poor have more money to invest in ideas than the rich do. And fourth, um, and most surprising, is that I believe if the working class knew this, knew these facts, that we would have a modern day gold rush. If everybody believed they could make $1,000 for every dollar they put in, they'd be willing to put in a lot of money and risk losing it, even with the odds. Most inventors are overly optimistic about their ideas. They think it's surefire, guaranteed, or it just can't fail. And that's why they're willing to put so much into it. But in reality, the odds may be 10 to 1 against them, 100 to 1 against them, or they may be very bad, 5,000 to 1 against them. But trying to figure these odds, um, if you have a chance of making 1,000 to 1 return and there's a 100 to 1 chance, 99% chance of failure, it's still a good deal to invest in. Um, the way the criminal rich used to keep um, the working class away from these kind of things is they would accuse the inventors of fraud because of their optimism. And one case in point was Tucker when he was trying to bring his car to market. Uh, they saw that he started to get momentum and to grow this company, and to prevent competition, they accused him of fraud, and the very accusation dried up his investments. So nobody wants to put money in a company that's defrauding you. So nobody did. According to Dilip Rio, I hope I got this name right, 99.95 of investors, entrepreneurs, should stop seeking venture capital because their chances of receiving it are so slim. They say it takes money to make money. And while this is true, it does not take people with money. In 2010, venture capitalists invested approximately $22 billion in 2,749 companies. But according to the National Venture Capital Association, but according to JP Updates, um, in the same year, Americans spent $59 billion on lottery tickets. This means the poor in America spend nearly 3 times as much on high-risk investments, lottery tickets, than do the venture capitalists, than do the rich. So lottery players are the investors that you're looking for. But isn't that illegal, you say? Yes, in 1932, capitalism for the working class was outlawed by the Securities and Exchange Commission. Rule 501 of Regulation D, Part 6 defines an accredited investor as a natural person who has an individual net worth or a joint net worth with the person's spouse that exceeds $1 million at the time of the purchase. Now, this was written in 1932 or 32, so that was a lot of money back then. But $1 million is still a lot of money. So if you're not a millionaire, you can't invest in this kind of opportunity. Do you believe that? I mean, capitalism outlawed in America? Go figure. If you look at the product life cycle, you're not allowed to buy a company at the low end of the curve. Usually the initial public offering is after the curve
has slowed its growth rate to 10% a year, excluding the majority of Americans from the blessings of liberty and keeping them for the venture capitalists that can get in on the ground floor of these ventures.
If millions of Americans started doubling their income every year because of being invested in these kind of things, well, then they would start quitting their jobs. Was that a good thing or a bad thing? Well, for me, it's a good thing because if they quit their job, then I can get it. And if if I'm working at a different job and there's a labor shortage, my boss will pay me more to stay. And so the middle class basically get rich if there's a labor shortage. The distribution of wealth that has slowly creeped in favor of the rich would suddenly shift back in favor of the working class. Currently, the division of wealth is such that um, of the money made by companies, 75% of it goes toward the CEOs and top executives and shareholders or whatnot. But only 25% goes to the workers. Back in the 60s, it was the other way around. 75% went to the workers and only 25% went to upper management. If we have a labor shortage, that would swap around. The profitability of the company would come down, but all the money would be going to labor. Um, and the average worker in America would have 3 times the income if he was getting 75% of the gross domestic product remained the same. But with all these new companies that we're talking about starting, the gross domestic product should go up. It should go way up. With more people buying things, the um, the demand for products should triple. Um, so I'm talking about giving us a bigger piece of a bigger pie. And but sadly, crowdfunding is still against the rules. On April 5th of 2012, the Jobs Act made crowdfunding the law of the land. The Securities Exchange Commission was ordered to write the rules in 6 months, but the criminal rich persuaded them to delay the publication of the rules indefinitely. The only way you can I can see um, to get our right to capitalism back is to break the rules and follow the law. And so I propose offering outlawed stock for unregistered companies to unqualified investors just to bring these things into court so that we can fight this in the public's eye and bring all this to light and bring the. So that's my video on crowdfunding. Thank you for listening.